Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Goose Egg Gambling Podcast, the only podcast that isn't afraid to see red in its main checking account. I'm your host, Matasaurus Rex, aka Young Dipshit, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Jerrod, aka
Old Dipshit,
or God's Bravest Scoldger. Jerrod, how you doing today?
Not great because of the Browns game, Vikings game.
Yeah, it was a rough watch.
Yeah. We looked great first drive and then just totally shit the bed the rest of the game.
Yeah, just what a brutal game. I think it ended up 7-14, but it was 7-11 for the longest time.
It was awful.
Just not a fun watch. I personally am not a fan of like defensive football. I like to see the fireworks. I like to see offense. So that game was just not for me whatsoever.
Yeah, especially when it's your team and it's a defensive game. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. You just go, just score.
Right. How fucking hard is it?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so to be honest, I'm not feeling that great either. It was a really rough week 4 for me. I'm down just horrendously right now. I went 2-8 on week 4, which brought me, I was 9-10, but now I'm 10-18, or I was whatever the math was there.
You're definitely not 55% right
I'm
now.
not 55%, and I'm gonna have to do some work to get back to it. I was just so cocky after a solid week 3 that I just placed way too many bets on week 4 and just bad. But it's a safe bounce back week, and honestly, I'm not too upset about it because I'm noticing I'm getting a new pep in my step from the season change. Do you know what season we are currently entering?
Fall,
which if you are a musclehead like I am, you know is bulking season.
Oh, yeah.
And I am not here to give health advice, but I gotta say one of the best ways to put on muscle, if you're looking to put on muscle like me, one of the best ways to do it is with 100% American beef. And my best source of that these days is from Bulk American-made beef jerky. Bulk is awesome. It's honestly, I'm a pretty big jerky guy. I usually like get it every time I go to the gas station or something like that. I have not had jerky that's this good, and I'm not even like lying. I honestly think this is the best jerky I've ever had. Yeah. It's just so tender. It's so delicious. It's like almost like, I don't want to say melt in your mouth, but it's pretty close.
It's like candy because it's so addicting. Exactly.
I've gone through like 3 bags of this stuff since it got sent here, and I intend to go through another 3 today. And
definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem, but I'm excited about it because it just means more nutritious gains for me, which I'm all here for in the fall. So absolutely. If you guys are interested in getting in on the bulk jerky, use the promo code YouBetcha for 10% off your order. It's a great time. It's honestly delicious. I wish podcasts had some sort of way where I could have you taste it. But
Taste-O-Vision.
Yeah, Taste-O-Vision. Apparently the technology is not there yet, but Elon get on it. So yes. That's bulk jerky. Again, promo code YouBetcha. Try it out. I think once you try it once, you'll be hooked. Oh
yeah, definitely. So good. The teriyaki is my favorite one.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So speaking of hooked, I'm still hooked on parlays. As everyone who follows Goose Egg Gambling on social, that's goose.egg.gamble on all platforms. I once again failed. The 10-team parlay did not hit.
That's not surprising.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
Personally, I can't even imagine. So this week knocked it down to a simple 9-team parlay.
Yeah, very simple.
And people, I'm going to keep going until this thing hits. I'm not afraid of losing. Losing makes a man.
That's true.
I'm going to be such a man because I'm just going to keep losing probably. But this week, just looking at it right now, just to go over it real quick, all money lines again. We've got Titans over the Jaguars. We've got Panthers over the Eagles. We've got Patriots over the Texans. We've got Steelers over the Broncos.
That's
see.
A tough one. That's such a tight spread.
It's very tight, and you never know with like the Drew Lock situation if that's going to be good or bad.
And then Roethlisberger is just absolute doo-doo butter right now.
Well, but apparently he had another injury, so
that's not surprising.
The guy's just broken out, but maybe they use that as an excuse to put Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph in, and then I like my chances even more.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to get off track here.
Yeah, no.
Do you think the Steelers are like totally screwed right now?
Because for this season, yes.
But like seasons ahead of them, like they have no quarterback at all. And it's going to take years to develop that.
I don't think they're going to go the develop route. I think they're going to go all in on the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes if that happens.
Okay. So they're going to go with the veteran.
Honestly, I don't know why they haven't reached out to Cam Newton yet at this point. I think Cam Newton would fit pretty well in that offense.
He'd be the best quarterback on the team, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they're just kind of caught in that pride thing right now where you want your franchise quarterback out the door, but you're too polite to like kick him out. It's kind of like the Midwest goodbye of the NFL. We saw the Broncos had to go through it with Peyton Manning that last year. And it's just ugly for everyone to watch. And it's tough because Ben Roethlisberger was a really good quarterback, I think.
And he's like he should have retired like 2-3 years ago too.
And he's usually the first one to tell you that. He usually has a bad game and then like contemplates retirement during his press conferences, but
never does it.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm honestly shocked he came back this year. It's looking rough. I think the Steelers are going to have to go all in on like an Aaron Rodgers or a Matt Ryan next year. I don't think they're gonna develop a quarterback with the defense they have now.
Yeah, and depending what happens with Deshaun Watson, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Deshaun Watson.
Shoot. Yeah, so they do have options, I think, but I do think if they can't get one of those free agents, they are screwed for a few years, especially in that division.
Yes, which is weird to see the Steelers be like really bad.
Exactly, and it's always they're in that like weird position where you're too good to get a high draft pick because like Mike Tomlin's never going to be drafting in the top 5.
Yeah.
But then you don't get a good quarterback, so you have to just draft really well or just rely on the bridge guys. It's kind of the problem the Vikings had when they wanted to get Kirk Cousins.
NFL purgatory, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. You're in that random like 7 and 9 and 1 space.
Exactly.
But so yeah, sorry Steelers fans, don't hate us too much. I've also got the Packers over the Bengals, the Cowboys over the Giants, the Cardinals over the 49ers, the Buccaneers over the Dolphins, and the Vikings over the Lions.
Yeah,
I'm pretty. We'll see. It honestly probably won't hit, but I'm fucking excited if it is.
Do you have any underdogs in there? Or is
Nope. It's all favorites this time.
Okay.
Which I thought might switch it up. The Steelers over Broncos is surprisingly the Steelers are favorites. And then I was also a little worried about Packers over Bengals because it's in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Slightly worried about that, but the rest are pretty solid favorites.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't think you'll win it.
Exactly. That's all I could ask for. That's the most praise you probably ever get in one of these parlays.
So if you win this 9-team parlay, will you do a 10-team parlay next week?
Oh yeah, because then I'm going to be unstoppable. Are you kidding me? I'm going to have so much more money to play with.
Momentum is huge.
Exactly. It's a momentum league. Speaking of momentum, I've got kind of a risky pick for this week's Fuck It We Ball, and it's based purely on momentum. It's a team that they managed to get their first win this last week. And I think the hype is high, and they're in a unique environment this week, and I think that's going to help them out. I am taking
the Giants,
the New York Jets +3 versus the Atlanta Falcons. I feel gross doing it. It's like my Lions pick last week. I feel disgusting betting on the Jets, Jets. But I'm fully drinking the green Kool-Aid. I think
I think it's green antifreeze, not green Kool-Aid.
Oh no, it's just poison.
Yeah.
I think Robert Saleh is legit. I think he's a legit head coach. I don't think their problem is like it's not an Adam Gase problem like it used to be. It's not like the organizational problem. The problem is they just don't have enough players right now. But their defense is pretty legit. And I feel pretty confident betting against any team that's facing Atlanta. Atlanta still blows leads. They did it last week against Washington. And I think this Jets team has heart. Plus they play in London. So anything goes in London. Across the pond.
Does that concern you at all that it's played in London, or not really at all?
No, I think that favors the Jets. I think that favors the underdogs.
Yeah.
It's also an outdoor game. The Falcons are an indoor team. That's got to be something.
It'll probably be raining like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it always does in London. Clearly, I've never been. I wouldn't know. Excited for the new James Bond movie though. But
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like it's good value at +3. I think that's going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down to the last drive. And Fuck It We Ball is about making those bets that you're a little uncomfortable about. So I'm putting myself out of my comfort zone here, trying to grow as a human. So I'm taking the New York Jets +3.
I think the Jets will have jet lag. So I'm thinking the Falcons will win.
What a headline that would be.
Jets have jet lag.
Oh, that's all right. Well, let's go to something I'm a little more confident in then. And that is, it's a game you'll actually be attending this weekend. It is the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
First of all, so jealous you're getting to go. That's going to be a very exciting game. Sunday Night Football, AFC Championship rematch. The Bills are absolutely rolling right now. The Chiefs got back on track a little bit after the last few weeks. But the line, it was 3 last time I looked.
Yep, 3.
I actually bought half a point for the first time in my life. I've never actually bought any points in my life.
Really?
Never. I just never. I kind of always just assumed it was cheating of some sort. But I'm down so bad right now. I need to just give myself any chance I can.
I'm gonna buy 10 points this week.
I bought 21 points. Bought half the points. And I took the Bills +3.5 versus the Chiefs. I think the Bills. I honestly think the Bills will win this game straight up. But I was not confident enough to do that. So I took the Bills plus 3.5. I think they have that revenge factor from last year. I think they know that they need to win this game for like not only the number one seed in the AFC or like potential playoff implications, but just for their own psyche. Like, okay, we could beat these guys. Because the Chiefs are one of those, like, it was like the Patriots effect from the 2010s. Like teams like fold when they play the Chiefs because you're so nervous of the opponent on the other side.
Yep.
Like they make uncharacteristic mistakes. And I think the Bills know that they need to kind of win this game just for their own like confidence.
I agree with you. I have that on my board too. Bills plus 3. Do you think that I'm starting to think this? Do you think the Chiefs are overrated?
I think we're starting to see the effects of Mahomes' massive contract. Their defense does not look very good at all.
At all.
They're very, very, very reliant on Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I think if Hill, Kelce, or Mahomes were to go, I mean, obviously if Mahomes goes down, but if one of those three goes down, I think their season they might still be a playoff team, but they're not a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, exactly. Because like 2 out of those 3 players have to play well for them to win any game. And Mahomes has to score at least 3-4 touchdowns.
Yeah, we're at the point, I said they're like the Patriots, but they're honestly more like the Packers of the 2010s where like they kind of need their superstar quarterback to bail them out of situations. So I think it's definitely gonna be something to look at. Plus the Chargers just look so good right now. Like I think we've all kind of handed the Chiefs the next 10 Super Bowls, but they might have trouble winning their division for these next few decades because I don't see the Chargers going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, that Herbert looks amazing.
Yeah,
great coaching too.
Yeah, he honestly might be like the best quarterback in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel pretty good about 3.5 for the Bills because I think they're gonna be coming out pissed, and I think the Chiefs do have legitimate problems. The Chiefs are kind of like a superstar NBA team. Like they have a big 3 and then just a lot of like veterans and have to kind of patch everything together money wise. So like it was always interesting. We kind of never assumed something like that would work in the NFL, and it had for the first few years when Mahomes was on the rookie deal. But now it's going to be interesting to see if like they can hold it up. Plus, like who knows how long Andy Reid wants to coach. There's a lot of interesting things happening in Kansas City.
Yeah, if I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be sweating just a tiny bit.
You gotta be sweating a little bit. So you took the Bills just plus 3 straight up. You don't fear the half point at all.
I wouldn't be opposed to taking money line too on the Bills.
I feel pretty confident about the Bills in this one too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's free cheese. That's absolutely guaranteed. You can take that one right to the bank. Speaking of what you're doing this weekend, you're also going to a massive college football game.
Yes, I'm going to Iowa City for the Iowa-Penn State game.
It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be probably the exact opposite of the Chiefs-Bills games in terms of style of football.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs-Bills will be very high scoring. This one will be very low scoring. So you'll see both sides of the spectrum of what football can provide.
Now just watch. We're just going to be totally wrong. It's just going to be completely opposite.
I kind of would love it. So since you're going to this game, I'm assuming you have a vetted interest in it.
Yeah. So I already put my money down. I got Iowa minus 2.5. Penn State's offense with Clifford is very shaky, and they have a great receiver in Dotson, but this is probably Iowa's biggest game in probably 5-10 years at Kinnick Stadium.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take the Hawkeyes minus 2.5 just for the crowd factor and how big the game actually is.
That's very true. And I honestly don't know too much about this game since I haven't watched either of these teams yet, but I think it was just my burning hatred for Iowa as a Minnesota fan that caused me to lean Penn State for this one. So I took Penn State, and I just took the money line at plus 105. The main reason is because Iowa's defense is very opportunistic. They're very big on turnovers, yet Penn State does not turn the ball over at all. I think they've only turned it over about 6 times this season so far.
Oh, wow.
So they're a very careful team. So I think it's going to come down to the last possession either way. Whoever has the ball last will make a big play. But I just like Penn State in the upset. I think it honestly, I have no reason besides I think it's just my Minnesota blood in me blinding me. But that'll still be an amazing game to go to.
Yeah,
I'm excited to watch it. It'll be a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of other games I like, tonight's game is the Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. We finally got a good Thursday night football game.
Don't clean your apartment for this game.
No, my apartment's going to be a pigsty. I actually have guests coming over this weekend, so it's going to have to dedicate Friday to it. But I'm really excited. I think anytime the Rams and Seahawks meet, it's a really good game. And they've had a few good Thursday night games in a row the last few years around this time that like Tyler Lockett usually go off, which I'm excited about because I have him on multiple fantasy leagues. And hopefully Robert Woods does as well. But the game itself is kind of a toss-up. I took the Rams minus 2.5 just because if they can go into Seattle and win with Jared Goff with a broken thumb, I gotta imagine Matthew Stafford's gonna be able to find some way to win as well.
And the Seahawks defense is not good.
Yeah,
very bad.
They struggle a lot. I think it's going to be a game where Russell Wilson carries them. I still think it'll be a close game, but I feel confident that the Rams will find some way to win, just because McVay also does pretty well against Seattle traditionally.
Yeah, I like that.
It's San Fran who McVay struggles with, but yeah, it'll be a really fun game regardless. I love a marquee Thursday night matchup. It's just gonna be a great way to kick off the weekend. I'm very excited to see what happens.
Also, I got one. This is my freest cheese, maybe of all time. Oh, this is the biggest cheese block you'll ever nibble on. Well,
damn, why haven't you told me about this yet? I would have placed a bet by now.
Titans -4.5 versus the Jags.
Oh man,
I don't know. Okay, am I crazy? Are the Titans that bad? I don't get it.
I think they have legitimate problems.
Okay,
that some people are seeing. Like, I think they very much rely on Derrick. They're very Derrick Henry reliant.
Right.
I think we still don't know what Julio Jones's health is looking like for this game, but obviously, I don't know if people have been keeping up with the news. Jacksonville's been having a few problems lately.
A couple at least.
But I think Jacksonville's going to try and find some way to grind it out. But that was a joke.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, it wasn't fair. But I could go both ways on this one. I could see Tennessee throttling them, but I could also see Jacksonville responding, because I honestly think Urban needs to win a game in the next month or he might be fired. He might have completely lost the tee. So I think any stops he's had, you got to imagine he's been like in the film room all week just trying to figure this out. Either that or marriage counseling.
One of the three.
Yeah, Urban's got a lot on his plate right now.
I just think there's just so many distractions with Jacksonville right now. Like, there's no way they could win this game.
I don't know if the Titans are a team that really like blows people out, though. I feel like they very much like play their competition. That might be the reason for the low line, because I agree with you. I feel like the line should be higher.
I feel like it should be around 7, and -4.5. I was like, what?
Yeah. Is it in Tennessee? Do we know?
I don't know.
But I had that game circled for a little bit too, but I eventually stayed away just because whenever teams go through big emotional off the field things, you just never know how they're going to respond.
It's either one extreme or the other.
Exactly. Extreme. That was my main reason for staying away from that one.
Yeah.
But that's your freest cheese of all time.
Freest cheese of the season. Freest cheese of the century.
Through a couple units on that one.
Yeah. I got one more bet.
Okay.
Browns Chargers. Take the under 47 points.
I think I agree with that. I think the Browns defense is out of their mind right now. Myles Garrett might be the defensive player of the year.
And then Baker Mayfield is probably still hurt.
Yeah. They said torn labrum in his left shoulder.
Yeah.
I think.
And he looked awful against the Vikings.
Terrible.
So
very bad.
I can't see more than 6 touchdowns getting scored in this game.
Unless it's all from I guess it won't be all from the Chargers, because they'll be facing that Browns defense.
So I am all over that under at 47.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I'm going to take that right now.
Yeah.
That's smart. Then besides that, the only game I like, but I don't even know if I like it that much, but I'm just going to keep an eye on it till game time, is Niners +5.5 versus the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are coming off a really big win, beating the Rams. I think they've had that game circled just because of Cliff Kingsbury has never been able to beat them, and they're like 0-8 in the last 8 games. And now they're going back home, and now Kyle Shanahan, the Niners might be in desperation territory. Like, they are falling behind in this NFC West pretty quickly. And now they're putting Trey Lance in. He's going to be starting the game, and Kyle Shanahan's going to have a whole week to prepare with a Trey Lance playbook. Trent Williams is hurt, and I don't know if he'll play, which is a little concerning.
Right.
But I just got to imagine Kyle Shanahan's going to find a way to keep it within 5.5 points, just because I think they're starting to sweat a lot in that building, and Arizona just came off a really big win. So I think it'll be like a field goal game. I think the Cardinals will still win.
It just doesn't feel like the Cardinals should be 4-0.
Exactly.
It just doesn't feel right. So they have to have a bad game eventually.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I do think they'll struggle come like November, December, when the weather gets cold and they can't, like, people start to catch on to this offense. But
yeah,
it's been too picture perfect this year. They haven't had like any I think the most adversity they had was against the Jaguars
and the Vikings.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. So
yeah, the Vikings are a missed field goal away from beating them. So
then the Vikings would be the best team in the league.
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
that would be
there's still a lot of season left.
A lot of season left. We're only a quarter of the way through.
Exactly.
So yeah, I like the Niners +5.5 just because of the fact that I think Shanahan's going to have a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and he's been working pretty hard. And I think Trey Lance will come out and look pretty solid.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, nothing terrible. So nothing super exciting from us this week. Our tails are a little between our legs after some rough weekend, but maybe we'll get a spark because we've got a guest picker coming on who's got a guaranteed lock for me. I'm really hoping. because I'm still mad at Carson for the Notre Dame pick. But let's see what this next guest picker has for us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to segment number 2, the most devious segment of the Goose Egg Gambling podcast. And I say that because we are joined by none other than dear friend of the podcast, Kody, a.k.a. Duck Kody. Kody, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
So, Kody, we explained a little bit how this works to you, but basically, I'm giving you 25 of my hard-earned dollars, my blood, sweat, and tears, and you are allowed to do whatever you want in the sports book with it. Now, you had mentioned beforehand that you have never sports gambled in your entire life.
Correct. I have not.
So I'm feeling really confident with this pick. So
yeah, I like it.
Floor is yours. What do you got for me?
Okay, so not only as a coworker, but I would say as a good friend, I'm about to bless your bank account.
Love it.
And I would like to put all $25 on what you call a money line. I put it on a money line.
Yes.
Is that how it goes?
You're nailing
it. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
I'm not big on the sports betting vernacular.
It's perfect.
So I would like to put all $25 on in light of current events, on the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Titans.
That's funny.
All right. Well, in light of current events, so I'm guessing you've heard of what's going on in Jacksonville these days.
I have.
And you're thinking the Jaguars are going to respond to this?
Yes, I think not only is this going to make them closer, but they're going to come with some heat because they're already kind of embarrassed. They're a little bit on the chopping block.
Yeah.
As far as reputation
by they we mean just Urban Meyer, because the players didn't do anything wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the players are going to come with the heat because they're like, hey, we're not like this. This is not us to mess up.
This is not us. We're a team of just
So I think in
people.
light of the events that has happened, I think that they're going to come back. And I think you're about to bless the bank account with this one.
Oh, man. If you're right, that's a pretty big payout. That is, I haven't even looked at the number, but
that's huge.
That is huge.
Cody, my free cheese of the week was actually
the opposite.
The opposite. Titans minus 4.5.
Okay, well, I mean, honestly, I just think that the Jaguars is a safer bet. They got to come with the heat.
Yeah, the Titans have a lot less to lose.
They got it. I think Titans are coming into this thinking they're going to get a break, and I think Jaguars are coming into this saying we need to show up. So I think it's just going to be a clash of the Titans.
It doesn't consider that there was reports this week of players laughing at Urban Meyer behind his back. That doesn't concern you at all?
Very little.
Maybe that's leaked. Maybe they're laughing because they know they have a really good game plan.
Here's also the
maybe
thing.
It's evil cackles.
I'm starting to see a theme because you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank when you win this Jaguars money line bet.
I'm excited about this now. He's convincing me.
Go for it.
I mean, I have to.
I already got mine locked
I'm
in.
not going to sit here and be upset about it. Like, I obviously got to be happy about it.
I guess.
All right, Jaguars money line. We're taking it. We're taking the Urban Meyer train. All right, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to just so you know, if you do not get this, you are not allowed back on the show.
Okay, perfect.
That's how it works, unfortunately. But I would absolutely love it if you do get it, because I think that would be hilarious if it ends up being the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I really do. I really hope it is. I might have to make you get me in with your bookie or however you illegally do this, because I would also like to put the money on it as well.
Whoa. Come on now. Plus 170. So this $25 bet will win me $42.
Oh, wow.
That's not bad.
That's blessing the bank account.
Do you know what I could do with $42?
That's a devious lick if I've ever seen one.
That is the most devious of licks. I could put that in the Jaguars and the next week, reinvest it. That's passive income. Exactly what that is.
Banks hate him.
Yeah, the banks have not been able to figure out the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, well, I'm actually excited about this now. This is a great pick. I'm glad we had you on. Cody, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, is there anything you want to plug or anything before we go?
I don't think so. Follow me on Instagram. Hughes.views.
Hughes.views. All right. And then just listen to him for all of his Jacksonville Jaguar content that's coming out soon.
Here we go.
Jags fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. As always, do not think of it as a loss. Think of it as a down payment on future success. Have a great week 5. Go Rams tonight.